Hi there, my name is Steve Gerhardt, and as always, this is the Unagi Observer. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching the video this week. As you know, Halloween is coming up. It is a cosplayer's paradise, a wonderful day where, it's expected that you dress up. So, in addition to being able to dress up and do your cosplay and all that good stuff, there are anime to watch leading up to Halloween, or maybe watch on Halloween. It kind of depends on what you're doing. So this is going to be a list. This is not a definitive list. I'm not saying that if you don't watch these things, you're a loser, or that if you don't agree with me, you're wrong, and blah, 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 blah. These are just things I think that might enhance your Halloween anime watching experience. As a matter of fact, if you actually have some horror anime that you enjoy that's not on the list that I'm going to present to you, please put it down below. Put it down in the comments below and share with everybody what it is that you like and why you like it for Halloween as a horror anime. So again, these are a number of anime to enhance your Halloween festivities. First on the list is The World of Yamizukan. Before I get into this, just so you guys know, a lot of these I've already reviewed in detail, so I'm just kind of giving you the flavor as to why you might want to watch it for Halloween. Okay, back to The World of Yamizukan. I feel like you have to say it in that voice, The World of Yamizukan, because it just seems like it has such gravitas, right? So anyway, which is kind of unique because this is really just a collection like of really short shorts, only about 4 or 5 minutes long each. They are done in the style of a digital manga or digital comic, if you're familiar with that. That is the style that this is presented. You can find it on Crunchyroll and a couple other places. And what it does is it does the subgenre of horror of ghost stories. So ghost stories are never supposed to be really that serious and whatever, and like the tone is always supposed to be a little bit over the top, and there's like a little bit of a predictable twist, if you know what I mean. And The World of Yamizukan does that. And while the stories themselves are just kind of cheesy and pulpy and that kind of things, which is what they're supposed to be, it gives a flavor to Halloween. So if you're doing a Halloween watch party and you want to set the mood, start off with The World of Yamizukan. And I think you'll get the appropriate reaction. People are going to enjoy it. They're going to laugh at it. There may be some commentary. And it's something that to gather people around and get them involved. So that's why I think you should start off your evening with The World of Yamizukan. Okay, this next one is also a series of ghost stories. So, it's something that's just kind of like, those urban myth type of things. The story with the guy who's driving along the road and he hits somebody he thinks, and, he thinks he's being trailed or whatever. And then he finally gets home, he thinks he's safe, and he goes around to the other side of the car and he sees a hook inside the side of the door. So it's, on that level kind of stuff. So again, kind of pulpy and cheesy. But this particular anime, which is called the Junji Ito collection, is more fleshed out than The World of Yamizukan. Anyway, these Ito stories are based off of his manga. He's a horror mangaka. And if you're familiar with his manga, then you know what I mean by the ghost stories. Everything's kind of predictable, but fun, and it's got a little bit of girl action going on there. And, it's kind of stuff that is legitimately a little bit creepy, because Ito's a little bit of a creepy guy. Anyway, so this current collection, I should say, of his stories made into anime are fun anime fodder. Again, there's no overarching story in this particular collection. It's just one story after another. So, you don't have to do the whole season. You can pick and choose the stories that you want to watch for maybe your anime horror watch party. They are fun. Ito definitely has his own style. Uzumaki, I think, is coming out or has come out on Netflix. I'm not sure, but he has an interesting art style and it's interesting visuals. And it's, again, just like any ghost story, it's good, but this is a longer format story. This is an actual full episode, about 22 to 26 minutes long. So yeah, if you like Ito, if you like a little bit of Guro, if you like a little creepiness to your ghost stories, enjoy the Ito collection. This one has a special place in my heart. It is Gegege no Kitaro, done by one of my favorite mangakas, Shigeru Mizuki. If you don't know his work, please look him up. I mean, it's not just Kitaro. He's done a lot of things like Nanaba, Onwards to Our Noble Death. He wrote a manga about Hitler. He wrote this huge manga series about the Showa period. Really good, really amazing mangaka, and his own story is amazing. I actually did a panel of him at Animore a few years ago. Anyway, so Kitaro though, Gegege no Kitaro. So this is one of Shigeru Mizuki's first characters that he made as a manga, which would later go into the anime, of course. And Kitaro is a little boy, and he comes from the graveyard. And you notice he's very distinct because, a lot of Mizuki's work is very cartoonish and deliberately so. And so you probably are familiar with the character design. It's a little boy, has a striped kind of sweater thing going on, and he has hair going over one eye. You never see the other eye, and there's a reason for that, because his father, who lives in his eye socket, who is like a teeny tiny eyeball with arms and legs, and assists his son in adventures from time to time. Yes, you heard that correctly. So this is very much a yokai anime, a fun little yokai anime. And while it is definitely kid-friendly and approachable, there's definitely some adultish things going on. No, nothing very major or whatever, but kind of like inside jokes that, kids' cartoons can kind of have for the parents, so the parents don't die of boredom when their kid wants to watch the same episode 13 times. Anyway, so it's kind of in that vein. And it's very good. And there are a lot of different versions over the years. There's, of course, the original black and white, and we have a current colorized version of it. Take your pick. Any of them are good. But if I had to choose, I would go back to one of the more older series, black and white series, and try to find the Yokai War, the Monster War, which is basically Eastern monsters, which are the yokai, which Kitaro leads, versus the Western monsters, which are basically like Frankenstein, Dracula, the Wolfman, and things like that. And it's a fun little storyline. Yeah, just kind of check it out. It'll add flavor to your Halloween party. It's a fun thing to watch. Again, it draws people in. It gets people to smile, to laugh, and get in the mood, right? Get in the mood. And that's the whole point. So yes, Gegege no Kitaro. And even if you're not going to watch it for Halloween, put it on your list. It is worth the time. And certainly check out Shigeru Mizuki's manga. He is kind of amazing. All right, now we're getting to some of the more serious kind of horror, kind of, traditional vampire kind of stuff. And it's called Blood the Last Vampire. This is a one-off OVA. It is part of the Blood franchise, but it's not, the Blood franchise has a couple different timelines. This is one of those different timelines. So what it is literally there is a girl vampire, Blood, who awakens from time to time and helps out mankind to kill other vampiric monsters. They're not complete vampires like she is, but they kind of have these hybrid forms that are just really monstrous and literally not just suck your blood, but like eat you too. The OVA is about 50 minutes long, I think. And it's set on an American Air Force base, of all things, and in the 1960s, which is a very interesting time. You're going to see some interesting visuals at the beginning with a subway train under Tokyo, and you're gonna go, that animation looks familiar. Let's see if you can figure out who did that animation without looking up the information, because it'll be like, oh, him. So anyway, she gets word that there are vampires infiltrating an American school on the American Air Force Base, and so she is going there to find and dispatch those vampires. And the end has a certain little twist to it. It is very much an adult anime. There's going to be blood, there's going to be gore. It's not Goro, okay? It's not Goro, but it's just actiony, and the resulting blood that happens from that. So be prepared for that. It's very Blood herself, or the last vampire herself, is kind of like very one-dimensional in a certain way, but in a way that you're just like, oh, well, she has a singular purpose in life at this point, so there you go, that's why. But if you can get past that, then this is actually a really pretty good watch. Again, it's only about 45-50 minutes long, so this is something that you could probably really insert into your festivities pretty easily and watch and get in the mood to go out for All Hallows Eve. Alright, this next anime is for you folks out there that love your blood and gore and just interesting, weird things happening. It is Chainsaw Man. Yes, kind of the surprise hit of a couple seasons ago. I do love this anime. It is hyper violent though, and there is a lot of blood and guts and things like that going on. So just you've been warned. It's very actiony, almost shonen, but in a horror sense. It's about this guy whose father racked up a whole bunch of debts with the Yakuza and found out that he couldn't pay them, so he killed himself. So the Yakuza just came up to the kid and said, as he was like, I think like 13 years or 12 years old, and said, okay, you've just, taken on your father's debt, so you owe us money or we're going to kill you. And in the process of trying to make money so he doesn't die, he comes across this little cute demon puppy that has a chainsaw in its head, and he makes a pact with this chainsaw puppy thing. And it goes on from there. And by the time we reach him in early adulthood, he has already sold parts of his body, like his eye, to science or whatever, so that he can help pay off his debts. And what he does as his job is he goes into the woods, turns into Chainsaw Man, chops down trees and sells the lumber, and takes the money and throws it to the Yakuza. Of course, there is an organization that deals with the paranormal, and they come across him, and they decide to say, okay, we can either kill you or you can join us, and if you do a good job, we won't kill you, so what do you say? Kind of thing. And he joins on. You will notice from the art that you see that it's pretty just chopping things up. That's just how this anime is. So if you want action, shonen action with lots of violence and gore, this is for you. It has a cute Oni girl that can kick his butt from time to time, and so you get all those things going on. And I think this is a fun. Is that the right word for death and destruction? Fun? I don't know. Probably not. But it's an interesting way to spend some time watching some Halloween anime. Undead Girl Murder Farce. It was kind of a surprise hit. I think it was last season that it came out. It started off as a novel, of all things, and then, of course, it got the manga treatment, then went into digital manga treatment. Then it, of course, became an anime. Murder Farce is really kind of cool. So it's set up, and you get the placard that says, okay, this is not in our timeline, it's a different timeline, but it is set during the Taisho era in that timeline. And what it is that there's this half human, half Oni, and he's kind of like a monster slayer, but the way that he goes about it is that people kind of arrest these yokai monsters and things and bring them to a gladiator pit, for want of a better term. And so this guy, his job is that he fights these monsters, because he's a half monster himself, and kills them, and that's kind of his job. And so he kind of goes through life like this. And the unfortunate part about his being half Oni is that it was done to him as part of a lab experiment. So at some point, the Oni part is going to take over his whole body, and he's going to become a monster, and then his fate is going to be that he's probably going to get killed one day. So he acknowledges this. So he kind of has a sort of a kind of don't care, going through life until I die kind of thing going on. And then he comes across this person, with this woman with a rifle and a cage with a cloth draped over it. And it's kind of odd because you hear this woman's voice talking to the Oni guy, and he thinks that it's some type of ventriloquism. And then the big reveal happens, and that's where the undead girl comes into it. I don't want to spoil it for you. Probably everybody knows it by now, but I don't want to spoil it. And then the deal struck between the undead girl and the Oni, where she's just like, she wants to die. Like, she literally wants to die. But they have to go on a mission first. And upon successful completion of this mission, she will enable the Oni guy to basically live a very long life without having to worry about turning into an Oni anytime soon. She can kind of delay that effect for a long time. So there you go, you start off. Now, what's the interesting thing about this is that it is set in the Taisho era. They did a really good job of, historically speaking, of putting that scenery behind it. And as they leave Japan to go on this adventure, this quest to help this undead girl die, we are going to meet classical Western monsters and villains. I believe Moriarty is one of them. So, very intriguing. Few episodes in, enjoying it. So yes, definitely something worthwhile watching for your Halloween events. Yeah. So, Undead Girl Murder Farce. Watch it. Honestly, can you have a Halloween anime watch party and not have Hellsing in it? I mean, really? Okay, I don't think this one needs much explanation. I think we all know what Hellsing is. Alucard, he's working with a British organization to defeat the monsters of the world so that the world doesn't be overcome by evil. If you watch Hellsing Ultimate, they fight basically undead Nazi things. In that one, either series will do the trick. I personally like the original Hellsing version a little bit better, just because maybe old school kind of thing going on there. But anyway, so yes, if you want blood, if you want gore, if you want an interesting story with not a whole lot of vampire gothic angst, you get a little bit of angst with the police girl who really doesn't want to drink blood because she's not sure if she wants to go full on vampire, that kind of thing. You know what I mean? And that's really about the angst of it that you're going to get. The rest of it is just straight up, beat the monsters, kill the monsters, deal with the underlying story of subversion of being what it is to be a vampire. Because that's Alucard's big thing in the original series is, I want to have true vampires in the world, not these fake vampires, which is kind of interesting because they really are kind of fake. So anyway, this is as anybody who has been around anime for the past 5 years certainly knows what Hellsing is, because Hellsing's been around longer than that, but it's kind of a mainstay. You can't go to an anime convention and not run into some type of Hellsing somewhere. So that's going to round it out. I mean, honestly, no matter what you do, shouldn't you watch at least 1 or 2 episodes of Hellsing before you go out trick-or-treating or cosplaying or the anime watch party? I mean, shouldn't you have Hellsing as part of your Halloween adventure? Even if you're not an anime person, Hellsing might be for you. Okay, so that is it for the list of anime that I think that you guys might like to watch as part of your festivities or horror anime watching parties. And again, if you have some that is not on this list and you would like to show us, let us know about it down below. We would be very much interested to incorporate that into our own festivities. So there you go. So there's some anime to watch either on Halloween or leading up to Halloween. If you're doing an anime watch party, then there you go. Let me know what you thought of them. Let me know what you like, what you didn't like. Be nice though, don't troll. And list some suggestions down below, as I said before. Speaking of anime watch parties, so I'm not 100% on this just yet, but I think on either Monday the 30th or on Halloween itself evening, I will do a sort of anime watch party over on the SciTube. The SciTube is kind of a cheap version of Zoom kind of thing, where it's kind of easier to get a lot of people to get in on it to watch the thing. So I'm going to do a live broadcast of some horror anime, and I will be in the chat. And if you guys want to chat, just sign in with your YouTube login and then come over to the SciTube, and you should be able to chat. But you don't need to do that if you just want to watch whatever it is I'm going to put up there. You can just show up, follow the link. So where will you get the link if I decide to do it? Well, next week's video will be up on Sunday night, late Sunday night, and I will let you know if I am doing it and where to find the link. So I'll have a link there for you. If you are an anime archaeology Discord site, it'll be under the anime watch party thing. So again, if I do it, I will let you know, and I hope to see you there. And in the meantime, stay healthy, stay good, because I'd like to see you, meet you in person, and also because I kind of like you guys, love you guys for watching the videos. So please stay healthy and be good out there, and yeah, watch more anime.